Nigeria and Knowledge Center for Organic Agriculture and Agroecology in Africa, KCA, have decided to start looking for ways to work and support the young people to participate in agriculture, especially organic agriculture, because agriculture has a very long value chain, but organic agriculture has even a longer value chain. So let us see how we can interact with these young people and introduce them to these different components of the organic agriculture value chain so that they'll find their ways around there. And my watchword had been that any person that was presented conventional and organic, that everybody chose to consume organic. But I am adding to this that if all of us tries to produce minimally what we eat, what we eat, then shortage of food will be a minimal thing. And I still advocate, if you must produce it, you do it organically, because organic agriculture is the way to go. So we have gathered today in the month of May. It is celebrated as Children's Day on the 27th of May. So we are celebrating the young people because this is their month. So we are looking forward to a 2-day webinar. One is taking place today and another one will take place on Friday. And we have brought some fantastic individuals from diverse backgrounds, but especially they are young people, to interact with them, to expose possible things that young people can go into so that they can participate in organic agriculture and, more importantly, earn a living there. Agriculture is a fantastic way of earning a living, and organic agriculture makes even the producer proud that I am not contributing to the destruction of the earth and affecting the health of humans. So an organic agriculture practitioner is even more proud that he or she is doing it. So I welcome all of us to today's webinar, and I know that it will be a great one. I'll not forget to recognize she's one of the strength of the project, Olusola Sowemiwo, popularly known as Ortolan Farms, that she had always volunteered to move along with us, no matter how difficult it is. We're grateful. I recognize Dr. Motosho. She had always been there. Every one of you has always been there, and I want you to continue to be there for us. You are welcome, and let us take a plunge to things we can do to earn a living. I want to emphasize this, that this is a step towards bringing the young people together. So if we're able to build a community of young people, this started with activity that took place in University of Ibadan, University of Uyo, and Nnamdi Azikiwe University, to see how we can bring young people together in a community so that we decide on what to do. And once it is workable, I promise young people, once we're able to bring about 1,000 people together, then we'll move ahead to start organizing physical trainings in group of people that have similar interests. And already I'm in talk with some individuals, which I will not make public now, how we can support young people to participate in agriculture. Now, agriculture is becoming a hot business and everybody is interested, federal government, everybody is interested, because the first thing that will happen is food. People may not live with every other thing, but people may not live without food. So let us find a way of making this part of our life and contributing to the growth and development of our economy and making life out of this. Thank you very much and welcome.
Thank you for that warm welcome, sir. We really appreciate you. So confirm that you can hear me. Okay, so we'll just go straight into the panel session. in a few minutes. But before then, I will take the profile of our panelists. We have all of them here. So please come along with me as I read their profiles. Toluwala Omotowoju, popularly called Chef Loola, is a renowned chef and health supportive coach who is shaping the perception of food and health worldwide. With a background in psychology and culinary education spanning Nigeria, Dubai, and the US, Chef Lola's impact is evident in the Healthy Cooking Masterclass, where she shares her health focused culinary knowledge globally. Achievements include certifications in cuisine and pastry from Reddish Culinary Chronicles Culinary School, a diploma in Vietnamese and the vegetarian cooking and baking from Dubai, certification as a plant-based health supportive chef from the Institute of Culinary Education in New York, US. Guiding over 600 students globally and collaborating with organizations, Chef Lola has played a crucial role in promoting health through organic farming practices and healthy cooking alternative. Join us as we welcome Chef Lola. Ebuka, also known as Plantboy, is a 33-year-old plant enthusiast whose passion for gardening has significantly shaped his life. His interest in plants began during the pandemic, where he was facing job loss and depression. Purchasing a pencil cactus gave him a sense of purpose, and his collection has since grown to 500 plants. This newfound passion led him to create a dedicated Instagram page where he has built a community of fellow plant enthusiasts and started sharing helpful information, selling plants and soil, and offering plant installation. Today, Ebuka has transitioned from a freelance video editor to a full-time plant entrepreneur, providing virtual and in-person plant consultations and installations. His journey has highlighted the importance of community and resilience. Join us as we welcome Ebuka. Ayodele Farinde is an agribusiness expert whose expertise spans across solar drying technology, greenhouse farming, soil and soilless agriculture, hydroponics, organic agriculture, and agribusiness development with over a decade experience. Ayodele has trained women and young people and consulted for reputable local and international companies, where he has engineered several agri projects, including open field crop farm setup, hydroponic system setup, organic farm setup, greenhouse construction, solar drying construction, natural soil cold store construction, and biogas system setup. Ayodele Farinde is a founder of Casfarin Solution Hub for Business. He and his team are on a mission to boost Nigeria's food security through the establishment of sustainable agribusiness concerned with safe and eco-friendly food production, post-harvest loss reduction, and waste valorization. Ayodele authored the following books available on all digital platforms, including Amazon, Gumroad, and as well as others. Greenhouse tomato and capricon production in the tropics and green organic agriculture. Join us as we welcome Ayodele Farinde. Natasha Ortolan Ervilha. Natasha is an agroecology and food systems transformation advocate, born and raised in Brazil and currently based in Germany. Researcher and communicator with 6 years of work experience with governance and promotion of sustainability. She holds a bachelor in international relations from the Federal University of Sao Paulo, Brazil, a master's degree in public management, and a master's in the global studies with a focus on rural development and international development, where she got the chance to live and study in many different continents. She currently works as communications for agroecological transformation advisor at the Knowledge Center for Organic Agriculture and Agroecology in Africa, GIZ. On weekends, she's diving deep into urban farming, agroforestry system, and vegetable market garden implementation. So join us as we welcome Natasha. So you would agree with me that we have a really amazing lineup of diverse and amazing lineup of speakers, and we are so excited. Can we show them some love in the chat box? Put some love, use some emojis. Let's welcome them. Let's welcome them in the chat box. Yes, thank you. Now, I'd like to invite our moderator for this session in person of Barrister Olusola Sowemiwo. She's moderating. You know, when I discussed with her and I was saying, Ma, you'll be much, you'll be, she said, I'm not a youth. Am I a youth at 64? And she's like, okay, I'm a 64-year-old youth. So let's invite our 64-year-old youth in person of Barrister Olusola Sowemiwo to take over moderating the session.
Yes, I wanted to blur my background, but for some reason I can't. So please bear with whatever you see at the back. I'm quite glad to be here, more because the youths have always been the one set of people that excites me the most. I normally like the freshness of ideas and the way they reason. So I am quite honored to be here, and let's roll. I'm going to start with Chef Loola. Thank you for being here. You know, this lady, she's taking cooking to another level, but I'm going to leave her to tell her story, and I would not disturb that. So, Chef Loola, your transition from psychology to culinary art was driven by personal tragedy. How did this inspire you to pursue a career in health-focused cooking? And what advice would you give to youth looking to turn their passions into opportunities like you?
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me? Good morning,
Yes,
everyone.
definitely.
And I'm super excited to be here. So let me quickly answer your question. When let me be specific. So my stepmom had cancer about 7 years ago. And one of the very first things that I realized was we didn't know what to give her in terms of food. So she was having medication, but we didn't know what to give her. So that was actually where the idea of what I currently do today came to me. We tried getting people who could make meals for her, but no one really knew how to. First of all, the doctor's advised she had to eat only organic food, and also she had to stay off a lot of processed food. So we didn't understand how to do those things. And the chefs who were getting also didn't know, because nobody was really focusing on health, cooking for health challenges as at the time. So that was where the idea came from, that, okay, I want to learn how to cook so I could help my mom. That was how it started. But a few months after I made that resolution, she passed away. And I'm like, okay, I couldn't help her, but I'm very certain that there are several other people out there who are going through this same experience and who need this service. So why don't I go and formally learn how to make meals for people who had health challenges? As at the time, I used to tell people that I wanted to be a nutritionist that could cook, because I understood that nutritionists knew what to eat, what to tell you what to eat and what not to eat, but they didn't particularly know how to make those meals. So I wanted the knowledge of, first of all, food, how food affects our body and how we function, also how to make those meals. And so I went to several schools which have been mentioned already, and I am here today 7 years later. So the advice I would give people, from my own experience, the most success I have had in my life has been from pain. I've gone through several painful experiences, but one thing I take from it is that I look at how much more can I achieve from this experience, and somehow I'm always guided and I'm helped to the next level. So it's important that when things are not going well in your life, look for that silver lining in that very difficult situation, and most times it's taking you to the next level of your success. So that would be my advice to them.
Wow. So the lesson from your experience is that you have been able to achieve more through the pain that you've been through. So it was a kind of good pain, because at the end of it, something came out that has actually transformed your life. Thank you very much. That was really a learning process. And I hope others are jotting notes and taking points from some of these learning. Thank you. So let me go to Natasha. Natasha, how are you? It was a pleasure meeting Natasha at BioFac, I mean, she's so soft-spoken that I think Hepzibah might need to increase the volume when when Natasha is speaking. So Natasha, you've had the unique opportunity to live and study in various continents while pursuing your master's degree in public management and global studies with a focus on rural development and international development. What lessons can youths learn from your journey about the global opportunities in organic agriculture?
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you for having me and for the opportunity of being here. And thanks for the question, Olusola. Maybe I hope you can hear me properly. I'll try to speak a bit louder.
Yes.
As
I
you
told everybody about your voice, so
as you saw, I am from Brazil. I was born in Brazil. I grew up in Brazil. And I just wanted to start with that because we need to go back a little bit in time to a time that I would have had nothing to do with agriculture, had nothing to do with organic agriculture. I grew up in a big city. I think everyone from Nigeria might have the feeling of a big city in near São Paulo. I think it looks pretty much like big cities in Nigeria. And big cities, you go to the supermarket, you buy your food, but you don't have a connection with where your food is coming from. And my trajectory as someone in the city, so my grandparents were from the countryside and have that classical life trajectory where they had to leave the countryside to have opportunities. So I think back in the time that was the case. So I had a traditional career path. I had a normal office job, and at a point in that path, I really felt that something was lacking. So I was working with this big paper company, so planting trees to produce paper, and there was something in me that was not matching. So I was not, let's say, happy, and I started looking, what else can I do? And I discovered agroecology, I discovered other fields, and where did I discover them? You would ask me. I discovered them abroad. So the opportunities I think that I found were not in my city in Brazil, were somewhere else. And that was quite of a challenging also for my family to see that I was about to fly away, and it took a lot of effort to do that because I didn't have anyone else that had done that before. So I think what I want to share through this trajectory is that the lesson that I learned is that sometimes opportunities, and you have that gut feeling, that sensation that there's something else for you out there, and that for me meant going abroad. For other people, for other might be meaning staying where you are. But I think what I learned is to follow that, to see where that thread takes you, and to see how that feeling can connect to your soul calling. So for me, was I need to do something, and that something happened to be very far away.
Thank you for sharing. So the lesson in it is that follow your guts. If there's something deep within you that you need to achieve, that is what you're telling us, because you had to leave Brazil and it had not been done before. You know, I think I was taken aback when I realized that you were actually Brazilian, because I didn't think you were German when I met you. So you left home. How many miles away was that?
I think it's 10,000. It's 12 hours flight.
That was a real
it's far. Yeah.
Natasha. Thank you very much. So Ebuka, Ebuka,
Hello.
we do have
Hi.
something in common, and that is ornamental plants.
Yes.
Can you spotlight Ebuka? We're still seeing Natasha. Okay, Ebuka, while we wait for you to be spotlighted.
Mommy.
Oh, okay. Somebody needs to be muted. There's a young boy in our midst who wants to come. Please, can you mute so that we can hear Ebuka and give him undivided attention? His story is interesting too. But somebody mute someone. Oh, you need to mute someone. Thank you. Thank you very much. So Ebuka, you mentioned in an interview that your journey into gardening began during the pandemic when you were dealing with job loss and feeling depressed. How did this challenging period inspire you to find purpose in gardening? And what advice do you have for our youth who are currently feeling like they're also in a rut?
All right. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me loud and clear.
Yes.
All right. So, honestly, my journey into gardening was a very unconventional one. I never in a million years would have thought that this is ultimately what I'll be doing for a living and this will be paying my bills. Flashback to 2020, I was unemployed. I was in my 30s, still living with my parents. My life honestly wasn't going the way I wanted it to go. And this is not a topic I'm shy of talking about. My mental health was in shambles because I feel like in our society, in Africa, we do not talk about mental health enough. And it's a big part of my story. So my mental health was in shambles. I was suicidal, honestly. I'm gonna go there because I just felt I wasn't happy. I was stuck at a rut. And I remember I had a very deep conversation with my best friend. And our love language in Nigeria is send them money. So he was like, look, I'm not there with you now, but I can wire you some money. Just go out there, enjoy yourself, have fun. So I decided, okay, on my way to the bank, I will never forget this. On my way to the bank to withdraw the money, I was walking by and then I saw a nursery where they, sell plants on the roadside. I saw a nursery and I saw a plant that looked very interesting. It's a pencil cactus. It doesn't have any leaves, just bare branch. I thought this is a very interesting looking plant. And I made inquiries and I bought the plant. You would think that somebody who is cash strapped will use their money on something else, but I liked the plant so much and I bought it and I brought it into my room. And immediately there was like a mindset change. I went from somebody who never looked forward to waking up because I'm like, what am I waking up to? God, I don't have a job. Nothing else. I never look forward to waking up to looking forward to waking up just because of that plant. Like when I would see the plant grow, bring out new leaves, I would be so happy. I would be so excited. And it literally came at a time where I felt like I wasn't doing anything right. So to see that plant doing well for me, it boosted my confidence, boosted my will to live. And, people often ask me, why can't you grow what you eat? Why is this, you're growing all these plants, they're not edible. Are you going to eat them? What is the economic importance of these plants? But a very, very overlooked aspect, again, in our society is the effect greenery has on our mental health. It can literally save our lives. And in my case, it saved my life because had that plant not come into the picture at the time where it did, honestly, I may not have been here speaking to you guys. It literally saved my life. It gave me purpose and a will to live. And then immediately I began to see that there was a huge gap because I couldn't find information about how to take care of the plants. All the information I was finding was for people overseas. I couldn't find information about how to take care of the plants for us here in Nigeria, our climate, our weather. All the information out there wasn't, no one in Nigeria was bringing out this information. So thankfully, I've always been a social media savvy person. I opened my Instagram page and the rest is history. My life changed. My life completely changed. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I also recollect that we actually met on Instagram, and because of that affinity, it almost seemed like it's a seamless relationship. And
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that the green, because what you're talking about is the green. And even though it's not food, they go hand in hand. You know, one supplies the other. Thank you so much for sharing.
So, and to answer the second part of that question, what advice? In a nutshell, I would say you don't have to limit yourself to the conventional pathway of life. Because I believe all of us here listening to Chef Loola's story, even Natasha, we decided to do something unconventional. Life told us you had to go to school, get an office job, you know, but it doesn't have to be that path. You can dare to do something unconventional. People might think, oh my God, this is ridiculous, but that could be the path that will ultimately lead to your success.
Yeah.
So yes, that's my advice to amongst
Thank
us.
you. Thank you very much. I believe that quite a number of the youths here are taking in all these important points that you are all sharing with us, because they're very important. Today, you just might turn a life around by some of these points that you're sharing. So thank you to our panelists so far. So Ayodele Farinde, I have now mastered how to pronounce Kasparin. Where are you? Where is Ayodele? I saw him earlier. Ayodele, have we lost him? Epsiba, lost him. Oh, okay, good. All right. Okay, they have not spotlighted you, so I am not seeing your handsome face yet.
Okay.
But I would go ahead with a question.
Okay, ma.
As the founder, did you hear me when I said I have mastered how to call Kasparin now? I would never stumble on that name again. Thank you.
You try.
So, as the founder of Kasparin Solutions, you are on a mission to boost Nigeria's food security through sustainable agri-businesses. What inspired you to start this venture? And what key strategies do you recommend for young entrepreneurs looking to contribute to food security and sustainability through organic agriculture?
Yeah, thank you for having me, Barrister Olusola. I'm grateful to be here. So before I founded Kasparin Solution in 2015, I realized that farmers has these problems. And most of the solutions that are being provided, most of the technology that are being provided for farmers, they are not locally available solutions. Most of these solutions, they are imported solutions. So I realized that, and most time farmers don't have access to these solutions and technology. They are not easily accessible. They are not easily available. And most time they are not affordable. So with this problem, I realized that, okay, I formed my company, and my core business area, which is post-harvest solutions, and greenhouse technology and organic farming. So we realized that, people were importing greenhouses, and we could actually build local greenhouse using our locally available material. So this inspired me to go into all these solutions and technology and farmers. And I can say categorically that my company promoted wooden greenhouse technology for farmers, because before then, people couldn't believe that they could grow all these things in a local greenhouse. That they could use locally available solar dryer to preserve their produce. So all these things, we're able to create local solutions using our locally available material instead of importing all solutions. And we have been able to help farmers to reduce their cost of production by teaching them how to produce some important organic input like voucher, compost, lab, IMO, and some of these things have been helping farmers to cut down their produce. I mean, to cut down their cost of production. So I'm advised to youth willing to pursue career in organic agriculture is that first they need to have passion. Passion is the bedrock. It will really help them to pursue knowledge, and also they should be able to seek for deep knowledge. They should be able to seek for deep knowledge and also acquire necessary skills from necessary source. Maybe adopting a mentor, learning from a farm, interning with a already established farm, and also youth should be consistent in what they are doing, because consistency is key. Even when the farming is good, when it's not good, when it's not palatable at times, when it's palatable, we are still there. So consistency is very, very important. Also, they should be able to do farming or agriculture, which career path they are pursuing, they should be able to do it as a business. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. So for attendees who are here, what you're telling us is that you have been able to see the challenges in organic agriculture, and you have been able to find solutions that make our farmers much more productive. So you took thinking out of the box, just like the other panelists had shared with us. Thank you very much, Kasparine. So let me go on and go back to Natasha. Is Natasha there? Yes, Natasha. Currently, Natasha, you work as a communications for agroecological transformation advisor at the Knowledge Center for Organic Agriculture and Agroecology in Africa at GIZ. Can you share KCOA efforts in advocating for organic agriculture and how youths can contribute to and also benefit from it? Thank you.
Thanks for the question. I would try not to be too corporate, because I think anyone interested, I'll put a link in the chat so you can have a look at what is KCOA, and feel free, I think, to reach out to Dr. Jude and Hepzibah. They're doing an amazing work in Nigeria. But what I would say, I would define KCOA as a network of organizations, a network of individuals, all together really to advocate and to pursue, I would say, an achievable, I hope, dream that our food systems are transformed into food systems that support our health and support the health of our planet, of our soils. And what I wanted to share on this here, so I'm working on this project, and some people might think, oh, Natasha, but you're very, very far. You're not with the farmer. I mean, I'm with some farmers here today virtually, but I'm not on the field. I'm not the one, so to say, planting the seeds myself. But there's a but and an insight there. Is a lot from us youth. We are already doing work in organic agriculture and agroecology, and as a communication, working with communications, I think our major job, and I think Hepzibah is with me on there, is to connect. So oftentimes people are disconnected. They don't know who are producing their food. And the farmers also sometimes do not know who is getting their food. And people might be struggling with getting information. Why should I change? Why should I start eating organic? They might have not heard Chef Lola's trajectory, sharing her journey. They don't know Ebuka. They don't know us, for example. So how do we get there? And I think providing and giving information out is such an opportunity. And we youth, we are so used to technology, we are used to social media, we are used to channels to spread the word. So I think all of us can be multipliers of this word, either on our social media profiles, on our communities, bringing it back, sharing with people, and really not being shy, because I think all of us have something to say, have something to share, have something to contribute. And we are, no matter where you are, I think what I would say, we are allowed to do that, to share, to say, to tell people when they can improve, and to be there, and to show the path, and to be the path through our examples. So no matter if it's you planting the seed, or if it's you sharing a post or making a reel on Instagram, I think we are all advocating. We can for better food systems. And
Wow.
I'm happy to see this room here. I think this webinar is a wonderful initiative, because it's also giving the chance for us to connect with each other as well, and bringing us together through collaborations.
Wow. Thank you very much, Natasha. So each and every one of us should actually be an advocate, because if you believe in something, you've got to push it. So Natasha is throwing it back at all of us to do our bit and advocate for organic agriculture. I was at the World Bee Day yesterday, and the chairman of the association proudly told everyone that there was no organic farm in Nigeria. I'm telling you, I did not wait to speak with him at the back. No, I wasn't going to do that behind, because nobody would have heard me. And I put up my hand. I said, sir, with all due respect, I would like to say that affirmation is actually not quite true. I was like, oh, really? I mean, don't let us miss a moment. And that's what Natasha is telling us. Communication is very key. And thank you. So I believe that this has resonated with some of us, that we can all be multipliers. Natasha has given us that duty to all execute. So I'm going to take Ayodele Farinde, and after that, we go on a short break. So Ayodele, are you ready for me? Thank you, Natasha, once again. So
Yes,
Ayodele, are you here?
I'm here. I can hear you.
Your culinary education and experiences across Nigeria, Dubai, and the USA have given you a unique perspective.
Sorry, ma. Can you confirm if that's for Ayodele or for Chef Loola?
It's for Chef Loola.
Oh, because you called Ayodele?
No, I had moved on because he wasn't there. So I told him we will take him after the break.
Oh, okay. Did you get that? All right. So Chef Loola, over to you.
So I'll start again, Chef Loola. Your culinary education and experiences across Nigeria, Dubai, and the USA have given you a unique perspective on food and health. How have these diverse cultural insights influenced your work in the culinary space, and what can young aspiring professionals learn from your journey about the global opportunities in this field?
All right, thank you so much, Ma. So can everybody hear me?
Can we all hear her?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, please go on.
Yes.
All right. So I would say that one of the things that I realized in my journey is that everything we would ever achieve as human beings is based off of how healthy our bodies are. And you can decide to accept or not, but the limit, there's no limit basically if you're healthy, if you're alive. And what keeps you alive is the food that you eat. So at the end of the day, it still all goes back to the food. And you can't talk about food if you do not talk about the plants that grow, because the food is from the ground. And if you do not, if you don't know what the processes are, you would really never, you just always play small. But let me go directly to your question. I really never knew I was going to do the work I do currently, because I didn't like cooking growing up. I was that girl that I would always run away from the kitchen and they will drag me out. I would lie that I'm going to the toilet and then just and not come back. But when I saw the need, especially because I saw my stepmom pass right in front of me, it opened my mind to that. This is beyond me. This is beyond what I like. This is God calling me to be a source of help to other people. So I had to then reshape my way of thinking. And I started with my own self. Like I had to change my mindset and also change my diet, which in turn helped my health. Now, in going to different countries to study, I would always be the only African in class. I would always be the only Nigerian in class. But I was learning a lot of the underutilized products in Nigeria. They were using it for so many diverse things. And I would say, oh, we have this in Nigeria. No one does this with it, especially for like soya beans, for example. There are about 6 different or 7 different things in terms of food that you can do with soya beans. And we have soya beans in abundance in Nigeria. No one uses it. There's miso, there's tofu, there's tempeh, there's natto, there's soy sauce, and no one talks about it. So what I was doing in all my experiencing in these countries was to look for things that were indigenous to Africa, to Nigeria, and then just create based off of the lessons I had learned in terms of food and how to use food to help people who have health challenges. That, okay, when I come back to Nigeria, how can I now utilize these products and make Nigerians aware that we have so much in abundance in Nigeria and we shouldn't just always look out for buying imported things. Yes, it's a place for buying things that are foreign, but then we have everything we need in Nigeria. So it has helped my way of thinking. I've stopped looking down on the things we have in Nigeria and just looking for ways to increase their value in terms of cooking, in terms of sharing the knowledge and sharing the benefits to health. I'm not sure I remember what the second part of the question is.
Okay, how have these diverse insights influence the quality space, and what can young aspiring professionals learn from your journey about the global opportunities in this field?
All right. So in terms of global opportunities, when I had the idea that I was very specific when I was going into food. I knew I didn't want to work as a chef in a restaurant or cook for people. I didn't want that. I wanted to teach because I saw that there was a knowledge gap. And so when I told people 7 years ago that I want to teach Nigerians how to eat better, how to cook, everybody looked at me like I was weird. Like, no one will pay for that. No, that was what they kept saying. And consistently, I heard that that's not a viable idea. Why would you want to teach people how to cook? Who would pay? But I was very convinced, especially, and I wasn't even, I didn't just want to teach just anyone. I wanted to teach people who, one, wanted to eat healthy, and two, people who had health challenges. Now, the first time I came back to Nigeria after my program in the US, I just did it like a little demo. Let me put out the word that I'm having a cooking class. Let's see if people come. And that very first class, with no one knowing me, 72 people paid to attend the class. And I made my first million. Now I said, wow, so there's actually opportunity in this. And over the years, I have pushed out the word, especially on social media, and people have come. So this thing that people didn't think was possible are making it possible, and more people are now wanting to go into the space. So it's important that even though an idea is not acceptable to every other person, if you are convinced about it, go for it. You will find the help. Yeah, you will make mistakes. I won't say I haven't made mistakes, but then at the end of the day, the help you need will be sent your way. So that's my...
Thank you so much. At the end of the day, the help you need will be sent your way. The very first time I heard about Chef Loola, I just needed to speak with her because it was the first time that somebody was talking about the food I grow and how to cook it. So I'm like, wow, for the first time, somebody is thinking about real food and how to cook it in a manner where it will still be nutritious to the body. And you have told us that there is no limit if you are alive, because if you're alive, at least you are alive, you know, and we cannot talk about food if we don't know what goes into it. And right now, we do know that in Nigeria, food is no longer food. I must confess that I'm also one of her trainees. I'm in her current training, and I think we are almost 200 or so on that platform. I can't even keep up with this lady. It's amazing. So well done, Chef Loola.
Thank you,
done.
Ma.
So we're going to take a break now. I'm going to drop the microphone and give it back to Hepzibah, who is going to do one of the things she does best. So Hepzibah, I have dropped the microphone for you. Thank you.
All right, Ma, thank you so much. So at this point, I'll just ask that if it's possible, let's turn on our videos. Yes, this is a point where you can turn on your video. Yeah, allowed to turn on your video. Do we have our videos on? Let's see. Because basically I'll be doing two things. Trying to capture all of us on our videos. Do we have our videos on? All right, okay. Let me see how many of us have our videos on. Okay, I'm doing two things. Okay, so first, in the speed of light, what's the first thing you can find around you? What's the very first thing you can find around you? What's the first thing? I have a very, very funny first thing around me. What's the first thing? See, I have a fan here because I mean we're in Nigeria and there's no light. And when I turned on the gen, it was making too much noise. Okay, so that has a Wi-Fi, a Wi-Fi. You see, that's the problem of Nigeria. But we love our country, respect. Let me see. Natasha, what are you holding? A pen. Okay, you're a serious person. Yeah, you like to write. Okay, that's good. Jumake, what are you holding? What's Chef Loola holding? Okay, somebody else is holding a fan. Okay, Mohammed, are you also in Nigeria? So it's a Nigeria issue right now. Okay, so someone has a bottle of water. Chef Loola too has a fan. Okay, you see, we can relate. You're on the same WhatsApp group right now. Okay, here, I think you're holding a book, right? That's nice. Olabi, I can't see what you are holding. I can't see what Olabi is holding, but I know you are holding something. Your hands, okay. Mr. Christopher, Jean Christopher, it's good to have you. Thank you for joining us. Okay, the good thing is I can see a lot of people. That's a calendar. Is that a calendar, a book? All right, Mrs. Taiwo, what are you holding? I'm not sure I can see what you are holding. Biola, how are you? Are you in class? Let me see. Annie,
I'm holding a book and pen.
Annie's book and pen. Okay, I'm sure you're in class or preparing for class. All right, it's fine. Okay, somebody is holding a jug. All right, nobody. Okay, some of us are holding bottle of water, so it's important to drink water. Let me see. Plants boy, I was expecting you to hold a plant. What are you holding? Chips. Is it organic? All right. Just Natasha, you wanted to say something, or is it my network?
Sorry?
All right, I can't seem to hear any. Natasha, you were going to say something.
No.
Is Hepzibah frozen? We can't hear you. It's a slur from you. We can't hear you. Or can anybody else hear her very well? No, you're not audible.
All right. So we just have to do that break. So we'll go. Fine, if you can hear me.
Now we can hear you.
All right. All right.
It was breaking.
Okay, that's network. Okay, so over to you, Barrister Sowemiwo. Remember again that we leave the replay on YouTube, so we can all go back and watch. And I'll just add that again and again, we've had our speakers talk about social media. Thankfully, our next webinar for Friday, we have a social media expert who's going to be joining us, so you don't want to miss it. All right, over to you, Barrister Sowemiwo.
So thank you very much. I loved that, and I remember that one of the things I always feel should be next to me is my phone, so I can communicate with you if anything goes wrong. So, Ayodele, yes, your extensive expertise spans several innovative agricultural technologies, from solar drying and greenhouse farming to hydroponics and organic agriculture. Now, can you share the journey that actually led you to these diverse areas and how youths can leverage similar technologies to create sustainable agri-businesses within the organic agriculture value chain? Over to you.
Yeah, thank you for these great questions. Like I always said, that all these innovations that we are projecting right now didn't just start just today. All this one thing led to one another. So like I've been saying that I started my farming from backyard. The interest started growing. Even after I finished my secondary school, I started farming from backyard for food sufficiency and for health purposes, to be healthy. And after then, I realized that I need to know more. So I pursued a degree in agriculture, which after, while my mates were running after a white-collar job and so many things, I decided I'm going to pursue more in this line of agriculture. So I enrolled for training here and there just to improve myself. And in the process, I was able to create Casparin solutions, which I've explained earlier, that the solutions for protected cultivation, solar drying, and organic agriculture. So then, before then, like I said, I started with open field farming. Gradually, we discovered that, oh, there are some crops we couldn't grow in this open field farming, where we had challenge of pests, at times climate change, too much heat, and so many of these things that we are facing. Oh, I decided, okay, when I introduced greenhouse technology, for me to be able some high value crops like banero, bell pepper, and some of the other leafy crops, because these are crops that are very difficult to grow in the open field. So as a result, at a point, we were having too much of habanero and some at the point there will be glut in the market. So I came up with the idea of drying our produce, drying excess produce. And that's the reason why we're able to develop solar drying technology. And all this technology, I told myself that we are not going to adopt foreign technology. All this technology, we are going to use our locally available and build our own greenhouse, build our own solar dryer, build our own baggers, and so many all these things. And people were amazed. Oh, so we could actually do this thing in Nigeria. We could actually do this thing, and oh, we could actually produce. We don't have to import all the fertilizers that we need. We can actually produce our own fertilizer. We can actually produce our own pesticide. We can actually produce our own nutrients. So these are things that led to one another. Because, and one thing I've realized that when we had problem, we face it head on. We are not afraid of problem, because from this problem, we were able to create a product. And we were not afraid to fail, because failing forward, learning new things. When we made a mistake, we learn from our mistake, we move forward from there, create a new product. When one problem come out, we're able to face it, provide a solution, and from there, I know that when I provide solutions to people, me and others, I'm able to make more money, and there is reward for all the solutions I'm able to create. And my advice to youth that is coming in this organic agriculture value chain, willing to explore more in this area, my advice for them is, number one, they should seek deep knowledge, because knowledge is very key, because all these things we are talking about, they are knowledge intensive, this knowledge, and probably intend, whether they're in school or currently I have about 15 interns, both graduates and undergraduates in my farm right now, from Department of Agricultural Engineering and some other departments, and also graduate people that say, oh, I want to go into farming, I want to learn this thing. They're all learning, working on the farm right now to acquire new skills. So they should be ready to dirty their hand. They should not say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this. So they should be ready to work, to learn, to acquire skill, and have a mentor, because in everything they need someone. They should be very close to their mentor, whoever they have chosen to be their mentor, so that they can learn new things every day, and they should be patient, I believe, and most importantly, youth needs to be innovative in everything they want to do. Thank you.
Figuring that out. So I'm here. Plantboy, up to you now. So I'll take Plantboy. Since we live in Nigeria, we just always have to make do with network. God have mercy on us. Plantboy, do I have you here?
Yes, can you speak a bit louder? I can barely hear you. Your voice is low.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Is it louder?
Okay, yes. Yes.
All right. So your love for plants evolved from a simple interest into a thriving business. Share how you have navigated the path of raising ornamental plants, which is good for health and therapeutic for the soul in a country like ours. So did you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. So you can go ahead.
Well, honestly, navigating a business like mine in Nigeria has been very interesting, because Nigerians, especially our youths, for the most part, generally have a disconnect with growing ornamental plants. They can't seem to wrap their head around the fact that you just grow plants for their foliage. You can't eat from the fruits or the seeds of this plant. So it's been a very interesting, it's been a very interesting terrain. But what I've learned to do is, I always tell people that what I do is plant evangelism. I try to reorient and sensitize people about the benefits of having ornamental plants. I touch on not just on the beautification that they add to their environment, but also on the benefits such as the mental health benefits, the fact that it increases productivity, and also a big selling point for me has to portray the lifestyle, because it's a lifestyle of greenery. Unfortunately, it's not something that is exhibited a lot in Nigeria, especially in urban cities like Lagos. Many people have balconies that they barely use. Many people have verandas that they barely use. They don't do anything with it. But by the time they see my veranda or my balcony, that I have put plants on it, and I come out every day and I'm watering the plants and I'm showering the plants, they are really fascinated. They're like, oh my God, how do you grow these plants to be beautiful? So that has been a huge selling point for me. I tell people what I sell is the lifestyle. I don't sell plants, but I sell a lifestyle, and I try to encourage and exhibit the benefits of that lifestyle. Also, we are at a time where all of us here, I'm sure some of us have been complaining about the heat. We are at a time where all of us here are feeling the effects of a lack of greenery in our urban centers, of deforestation, of lack of proper landscaping, experiencing high temperatures, unprecedented heat waves. And this is the rainy season. We should ideally be getting some comfort from the rain. But because of the lack of greenery and because of the culture that we have, where we just cement every exposed earthen ground we are beginning to feel the effect. So these are the things I always try to touch on. That look, my house is a lot cooler than a lot of Nigerian homes because I have plants all over my house. There's literally a plant here. And so these are the things I like to educate people on. For example, that's a snake plant. And why it's next to my bed is because it helps me sleep. It's really good at sleeping. So when Nigerians see all of this, they're like, oh, let me go and get this plant. Let me buy plants from him. So with Nigerians, you have to, in my case, I found that I have to literally resensitize and then really showcase the importance of greenery while also portraying the lifestyle. It seems like a lot, but thankfully I've gotten the hang of it, and thankfully I've built a platform where people now look forward to my content. Yeah. I hope that answered the question.
Yes, it did. That's very interesting. I was saying that for Plantboy, we'll give you some time. You can just show us around your balcony. Take us around the short trip of your balcony. It's totally unprepared. I know you are using a tripod, but maybe in the next session you just do that. And it's interesting to note that having a plant can make you sleep. I never thought. Who would have thought? So that's really interesting. Natasha even said she wants one. So you need to reach Plantboy behind. Okay, we have Barrister Sowemiwo back on the call, so she would continue. Over to you, Barrister Sowemiwo.
Thank you. Let me just reiterate what Plantboy just said. I had an in-law who, when she had cancer, one of the first things that the herbal practitioner insisted on was this plant. I think it's a variant of the snake plant, right?
Yes, it is a snake.
I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible with names. I said I'm terrible with names.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. It is a sansevieria, it's a snake plant.
It's a sansevieria.
Fun fact, it is actually native to Nigeria.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yes.
It is. Yeah. We had about 4 in her room. Yes, the practitioner insisted. We had about 4 in her room. We had all over the house. It was amazing. I had taken it for granted because I just like to have it around me. So it's a plant that all of us can actually inculcate. I often hear farmers or people who are in organic agriculture say things like, oh, you should grow food. You should be growing food and remove all these plants. I said, number one, that is because you don't know the benefits that we can derive from many of these ornamental plants. And coincidentally, a herbal practitioner visited me, and guess what? Over 80% of these ornamental plants have even medicinal values. So don't let's shut down on something because we are ignorant, So I just urge everyone to try and learn more about ornamental plants. It's not just food all the time. Thank you very much. Oh, Natasha says for us yes, Natasha also shared her own view about that particular plant. But because I've switched to my phone, I'm unable to follow up with the comment. But I'm sure Hepzibah will go back to it at some point in time. So now we're going back to round 3, and I'm still going to take you, Ebuka. That is now the final round. You've built a strong online and offline community of plant enthusiasts. Focusing a bit more on the online community, share tips and strategies that our youths can take to create and build a thriving community around their interests.
Okay, that's actually a very good question. Again, navigating the online space in Nigeria is something that I had to learn, because one thing I realized about Nigerians is if you want to get their attention online, you really have to put in the work. You can't go online and be like, okay, this plant is a snake plant. No, you have to really make it entertaining. So that was like the biggest change for me. And I realized, okay, fine. If I wanted to get the attention of the average Nigerian on the internet, I had to draw their attention. Not so much focus on the plants, but make it entertaining and draw their attention and then lead them to the plant. So I'm sure she will attest because she follows me. I used to come up with so many antics on social media. There was a time I would always wear a wig. I always tried to infuse a lot of humor into what I was doing and to keep it as lightweight as possible, because at the end of the day, you want to educate people, but you don't want to make it too lectury. We always, I feel like the approach you always have when it comes to greenery or agriculture is to make it too lectury, and we forget to infuse the fun and charisma in it. So I would say, please, by all means, showcase what you do online, but add your personality and infuse your charisma into it. Don't shy away from adding your personality and making it entertaining so that it can hold the attention of people while you can also now pass the information to them. And another thing I just learned recently is do not, greenery is, and I'm sure, like you said, we have a diverse panel here. Greenery is not just limited to your locality. So don't limit yourself to your local country or to your local audience. I learned this because I just recently started posting more on YouTube, and I realized that the demographic I have on YouTube is so different. It's mostly North Americans, mostly Westerners, mostly Europeans. So I had to quickly stop limiting my content to just a Nigerian audience, and my YouTube platform started to grow. So infuse your personality, infuse fun, but don't limit. When it comes to greenery and what we do, it's a global audience. So don't limit yourself to just your location or your country. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much. You also forgot to tell us that there was this lady from one country of the world, I've forgotten, and you were one of those that she showcased in her YouTube. I was so, in fact, there were two of you from Nigeria. You know, it's a global world. That's what you're telling us. Yes. Yeah. And I love the edge that you have now put into showing us much more about greenery. I honestly, I'm fascinated, and I just say, okay, he's a young man. We'll trudge along, but you've definitely shown us that you know, using social media is a fantastic platform, and Hepzibah is saying it's a global village. So thank you very much, Ebuka. I am going to Chef Loola, and I'm not going directly to your question. I am going to pick up on you because Chef Loola had a post recently and all of us went gaga. Guess what? She was not talking about getting married. It was an advert for her next cooking or next drink class. Where are you, Chef Loola? Because I'm reporting you to the whole world. I am reporting you to the whole world. There she sat, and behind her was, will you marry me? Please, what else would you think of if you saw that? And I've told her that my little cane is right behind my door when next I see her. You have really used social media to your very good advantage, just as Ebuka had mentioned. The creativity and innovation, yes, that's what Hepzibah is saying. But I'll go to your question and you can tell us more, a little more about that particular bit. Because you've guided over 600 students globally and collaborated with notable individuals and organizations to promote health through organic and healthy cooking practices. Can you share how you have leveraged technology from curating online courses to physical courses, creating video content, collaborating with other experts, amongst others, especially our youths? How can they leverage on similar opportunities to make an impact in the value chain? I know you didn't start just in the moment. It took you some time. So help our youths
to shorten their own journey? What should they be doing? Thank you.
Okay, so I would say that the beginning of my life started with me being very confused as to what I needed to do. So I'm the kind of person that I'm very multi-talented. So I'm interested in so many things. And I just couldn't understand why I needed to be one thing. So everybody would say you have to be a doctor or a lawyer. So there was no name for what I wanted in the beginning of my my journey. I went to learn how to sew. I learned how to make shoes. I learned makeup. I learned hairdressing. I learned so many different things, and then eventually went into event planning, and then now went into food. So over the years, what I've now realized is every single thing I have done has come back to now form the person I am today. Now, in terms of technology, I didn't particularly understand social media in the very beginning of my work. I think I joined I joined Instagram in like 2010, and I'll just always post random things. But when I now started my cooking classes, or like I said in one of the questions you had asked earlier, I just used Instagram. I didn't have a space, a physical space to host the class. So let me just try an online class and let me post it on Instagram. And it just went viral. I didn't expect people to receive it that much. So now, with time, I started to learn what gets people interested in watching your videos. First of all, storytelling always sells. Nobody wants to hear why they need to eat vitamin B and vitamin C and vitamin D, but you can tell a story of how someone, your family friend, had a health challenge and then now realized that they needed to go more into the sun because they were vitamin D deficient. People will listen to that more. And so when I understood the power of storytelling, I started to use it more. I was very good in literature when I was in school, and I liked writing stories. So it comes very easily to me. And the more stories I told, the more I grew on social media. And I think I tried it first with a video with my grandma. That was when I really saw the potential of storytelling on social media. She was making moi moi, and I would normally have like my lights and my tripod and all those things, but on that day, I didn't have any of those things. She was making moi moi outside, and I just took my phone. I said, "Oh, grandma, let me record you making moi moi." So she was wrapping the leaves, and then she said, "Oh, there's this myth that says that if you make moi moi with somebody, you have to tie 3 leaves and put it in the pot." And I found it very fascinating. So I did a voiceover and I posted that, and it had over 400,000 views. That was it was like boom. I had maybe at that time I had maybe like 10,000 followers, and it had like 400,000 views. So I said, okay, so that means I don't even have to have all the tools, like all the lights and all the things. I can just use what I have as at the time I have it. I don't have to wait for all these things. So I just started creating stories, and it was working out. And I saw that I was growing, and now I'm at 50,000 followers in a few months. So with the video I did, I actually didn't think it was going to be it was going to go viral. We were filming my online course, and in the video, the storyline, there was a proposal in the storyline. So I said, before you guys film the actual thing, let me just sit down and make myself feel happy. So I told the musician we're using for the advert that sing Ololufe is a Wandiko song, because I really like it. And I used to imagine on my wedding day they'll play it, but when I actually got married, I didn't play it. So I said, I play Ololufe for me, and I was forming like I was crying. And I just recorded it very, like, I didn't think it was going to be anything. So I posted it. And people started calling me UK, US, Ibadan. I'm like, what's happening? Are you getting married? What's happening? Like, people already saying congratulations. They didn't even wait to read the caption. And as at today, I posted this video 2 days ago. As at today, it has been played 20,000 times. So I realized that people like stories. That's why social media, that's why Nollywood sells. People like stories, people like drama. So if you can infuse storytelling and drama and excitement into your content, you will find that people would listen to it more. That's why someone like Aproko Doctor would get plenty views and because the way he tells the story, he's not just saying eat vegetables. By the time he first uses one very interesting sound and he puts one man running, you want to watch it, like, what is he really saying? You would want to entertain yourself. So it's important that one of the things I use for myself is there are 2 ways I create content. I call out a mistake that people make, and then I call out a frustration that people have. So in all the content, I'm either pointing a mistake you're currently making and infusing it with storytelling, or pointing out a frustration that you have and you don't know how to solve it. So those are the principles I live by, and then now infuse it with storytelling. I think that the sky is your limit.
Wow, well done. Because now many of us on the call, whatever we're doing, Chef Loola has said it, Plantboy has said it, even Ayodele, he kept saying deep knowledge, deep knowledge. So we need to find our own within all of what is available to us. I'll tell you, social media has definitely bridged so many gaps. I didn't even know that Chef Loola was someone I knew, because I just saw her as Chef Loola and didn't think otherwise. So it's very interesting. And this is one thing Hepzibah has also mentioned, that the next session, you're also going to have a social media expert who will come and break it down further for us. So thank you very much, Chef Loola. That is really good. Will you marry me? So Natasha, are you there, Natasha? I'm logged on on my phone now, so I don't see the screen like I did before. Thank you. So Natasha, on weekends, you dive deeper into urban farming, agroforestry systems, and vegetable market garden implementation. My goodness. What inspired you to pursue these areas, and how can young individuals integrate such practices into their own communities to promote sustainability and harness opportunities within the organic agriculture value chain?
So let me follow Chef Loola's recommendation of storytelling and tell you a quick story. So you can imagine I'm a Brazilian arriving in cold Germany the first winter. Everything is great, nothing is green, nothing grows. And I was absolutely devastated. I think vitamin D deficient as well, very and very intrigued, very intrigued. Like, how do people do this? Because in Brazil, agroforestry is so diverse. You have bananas all the time. You have an abundance of things all the time. Maybe the rainy season, it's a bit more complicated, but besides that, it is abundant. And I was absolutely intrigued. How do people do this? How can you garden? And I was also in a big city. So Frankfurt is quite big. It feels small if you come from a bigger place. And I was just very puzzled. How do they do it? How can you grow anything here? It felt like, okay, they probably import everything. Nothing can grow in this land. It's too cold. I feel like I want to just sleep, and I think plants feel the same. So I started to look more into, like, also to get more connected to Brazilian environments of production, and at the same time discovering a new way of thinking about seasons, a new way of thinking about growing things. And parallel to that, I was also struggling with not really having a community here. My family is all in Brazil. I'm the only one living abroad, and that can sometimes feel very lonely, feel very isolating. And how do you meet people? How do you make friends? That was a big question. And then I decided to join this project, and this project is really working into urban farming here, and also building communities. And how do you do that? I think if you are a youth and you're not really in the countryside, you're in big cities, I think there's a longing to connect. People want to connect with other people, to meet other people as well. I mean, social media has such a big power, but it's also, I think we also need human contact, human interactions, and how to collaborate with one another. And that kind of motivated me to really, okay, I am here now. I'm not from here, but I am here now. And what can I do? Everywhere there's a need for new practices, for new forms of agriculture, and being in my city, back home, being here in Frankfurt, being in Nigeria, being in Iran, no matter where you are, I think if you are from there, if you're not from there, I think there's a big space that we can occupy and can transform together. So I think for me, these things they aligned in such an interesting way that I would say, I know the question is not really to give an advice, but I would give an advice that is, you can feel inspired by many different things. And I think looking around and seeing how to connect them and how those things can fulfill yourself from inside as well, it's really important to nourish your soul while nourishing your work and nourishing the world and getting in contact with other people. And I think that's what inspired me. And also not only inspiration, was also out of necessity, out of a need, a longing, a feeling that I wanted to do something, and I also wanted to find different ways to make this place that I am now I feel like home. And that was through organic and agroecology in a way. So that's another reason why to go into it.
Wow, thank you. You did say that everywhere there is a need. I find that very deep. So it's for each and every one of us to, take the effort to actually find what is that need and how do I fulfill it, And you said that you were inspired by many things. You got to a place where it was completely different from where you were coming from. But even if the feelings came up to run back home, you didn't. You gave it all that it required. So this is something that I think our youths are listening in and would also take home with them. So the last but not the least is Ayodele Farinde, the founder of Kasparin. Are you there now? Sorry, yes, I'm on my phone, so I'm not, seeing the larger picture. I don't know what went wrong with my desktop. So you've trained numerous women and young people and have consulted on various agri projects, both locally and internationally. Can you discuss some of the most impactful projects that you've worked on and provide insights on how youths can get involved in and benefit from such initiatives in the organic agriculture sector?
Thank you for these questions. If I should look down the memory lane, I would say that beginning of impact started when I got a sponsor to train 100 youths on innovative agriculture. So, and I did that was in 2017. I was able to train 100 youths free, provided them with certificates and skills they need to start. And as a result, we were able to create what I call Nigeria Agropreneur Empowerment Training, which we usually do annually. And now it's now monthly, that youths can take part and acquire skills in all what we are doing. So they are able to acquire skill, and this is what we have been doing every month. And another impact, I would say that this project has created is as a result of what we are doing, our company is able to attract a US-based company to Abeokuta here. And the name of the farm is Adelano Organic Farm. It's a US-based company, and we're able to establish the farm from scratch, from buying the land, building buildings, greenhouse, organic fertilizer production units, charcoal store, and so many other facilities in that. So we're able to establish this project, and as a result, we've been able to partner with big organizations like GIZ. We've been able to partner with GIZ to create solar dryer in Nigeria, to build solar dryer in Nigeria for farmers associations. Like here in Southwest, we have worked with Mekong Farmer Association, Farmer Association, and also in Ogbomoso. And in the north, we'll be able to work with largest farmers that produce chili pepper from Papaya in Kaduna, in Jos 2, in Kano. So we'll be able to build solar dryer through the partnership with GIZ. And also we've been able to partner with other organizations, even in Southwest, Soilers Farm Lab. We'll be able to partner with Soilers Farm Lab, team led by Farmer Samson Obole, to build greenhouse, even biogas, and the charcoal.
So how can our youth benefit from all of this? Can you just give them a tip on how they can benefit from all that you're doing? If they were interested in any aspect, what should they be doing, or what should they do?
Yeah, like we made available opportunity for training for internship. So youths can intend to acquire this knowledge.
And location, please. Some of these people might be interested in asking, what's the location for the internship?
Yeah, it's on our farm here. We are located at Odeda, Ogun State.
Okay, Odeda in Ogun State.
Yeah. Yes, Odeda in Ogun State. So youth can intern to learn, and also we're also partnering with DIY agri service that is on organic revolutions to train youth on about 10 courses on organic agriculture in the Ijebu. That one is also going on, and it will start like early next month. So it's also going on, and we've been doing that. And also, we're also in partnership with Ortolan Nigeria. Ortolan Nigeria covers everything that has to do with horticultural crops. So currently, we are chosen as business champions to train women and young agripreneurs in selected areas of horticultural value chain. So these are opportunities, and when the opportunity time comes, we make it open so youth can apply and be part of the. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I would quickly ask that each of our 4 panelists should please drop either their Instagram handle or wherever you feel it's the best space to reach out to you. Please, can you put it on the group chat so that people can pick up how to connect with you? So if it's your Instagram or WhatsApp, whichever one you find most suitable. I think, Mr. Farinde, you did not show us your books. He has authored, how many books now? Books, how many now? Two books, yeah. And I'm a proud owner of the 2 books. Proud, yes. If you want to remove the cover so that they can actually see it, I'm telling you, if this book was available 5 years ago, I think our farms would have grown like double, because everything I found in his book were things that I had to struggle to learn to do. So even though they were not strange to me, but the journey was tough, getting to do those things that he's now just written a book about. So you can actually fast track your knowledge by buying his books. I think he's probably going to give me commission because I keep asking everyone to buy his books. But that's because I am a primary producer and I find that the knowledge in this book is very deep. If you heard him, he kept saying deep knowledge, deep knowledge, deep knowledge. So please, Chef Loola has put her Instagram handle on the group chat. Ebuka has also put his own there. Natasha, how can people reach you? We know that
LinkedIn there. LinkedIn is there.
Okay. Now that Natasha is sharing her LinkedIn profile, please let me quickly put in a word for LinkedIn. I'm currently on a course learning how to maximize and optimize LinkedIn. Many of us are underestimating the power of LinkedIn. So please, let's work towards gaining more knowledge about what LinkedIn is about. It is very powerful and it's also global. Thank you. Yes, his books are very powerful. And of course, Natasha, LinkedIn profile, please pick it up, follow her, connect with her. And she has already charged each and every one of us to become, yes, she said communication is for each and every one of us and we should all become multipliers. So Ebuka, you were owing us a visit to your balcony. Is Ebuka ready for us?
Oh my God.
He has the most
A visit to my
amazing
balcony.
selection
Yes,
and
a virtual
arrangement.
tour of your balcony.
Yes. Ebuka's balcony is, it's, I mean, it looks like a picture perfect thing.
Oh God, let's hope it is. That's how it's called.
Ebuka, coming from me, they believe me. I don't lie. I'm mesmerized
Okay, so
every
I'm
day by your
going there.
garden. I may have the same plants, but the way you arrange yours, the attention to details is incredible.
Okay.
You know me, I'm a farmer. We do our own thing anyhow.
All right, so let me quickly go to my
Yes,
veranda.
please do. We're waiting. Before
Technically,
Hepzibah sends me packing and takes the microphone from me, let's quickly look at your garden.
Okay.
And let me also say that Chef Loola also has her course now in video, so you can actually pay. And I'm telling you, the quality of her videos are fantastic. I'm going to go learn from her. Her courses are now in video. You can pay and just at your own convenience go through them. Okay, we're here with, yes, Ebuka. Can you imagine? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Veranda space. I also have some plants indoor inside there as well. And then I have this.
Kindly ping Ebuka for us.
I have this area as well. I mostly keep my succulents and flowering plants here as well. Yeah, and then I have them next to. So this is a rented space, so I'm obviously trying not to take up
He has
so
had
much.
to reduce them. Let me come in and say he's had to reduce them drastically. He had about 3 times this collection before.
Yes, I had to, so you could, because you know my landlord. But anyways, so so just imagine what I would do if I lived in my own space. So you don't need a whole lot of space. I mean, you do need space to garden, but you don't need. You could make do with the little you have. I tend to just restrict myself to my veranda and the lining of my entrance and window.
Thank you. So beautiful. You all agree with me. Can you imagine getting home and this is what welcomes you, you know, every time you step out and you're coming back home? Well done. Oh, even Natasha says this is amazing. Yes. I'm going to drag him to my house one of these days to come and rearrange my plants. Well done. Well done. So to our panelists, I have had utmost fun. And I believe that each and every one of us have also enjoyed ourselves. So please, let's drop something in the chat to encourage and appreciate our panelists for the wonderful job they have done, and to KCOA for making this possible.
Let me show you around the farm.
Sorry?
Let me show you around the farm, show you some plants.
Who is showing us around the farm?
Ayodele Farinde is going to show us around the farm.
It's Ayodele who wants to take us around his farm. Okay, good.
Okay. Chef Loola, are you in the kitchen? Maybe you're also going to show us around. I know you're traveling.
Take the microphone from me soon. So, okay, Ayodele, please do. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Can we see him? Okay, good.
This is our
lettuce. Can we see Ayodele?
We're supposed to see him. I've spotlighted him.
Okay.
It's like the network on the farm is not too good.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised when he said that because I know what it's like. I don't even have connection
Okay,
at
it's
all
taking
on my
us
own
there
farm.
now. Let me see. It's taking
Okay.
us, but I think you need to talk. Mr. Farinde, say something. If you talk, I can easily see you to spotlight. Let me see. Okay. Yes.
Oh, lovely. I can see his seedlings. He has tomato seedlings. Oh, no. It's kale or what? What's it? Can you tell us what it is? I think it's kale. Looks like curly kale or something.
Mr. Ayodele, if you can, Mr. Farinde, if you can hear us, you are muted. So I need you to unmute so we can hear you. This is beautiful.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, now
yes,
we
we can hear
can.
you.
So this is our lettuce. This is our lettuce. And this is our kale. So let me show you our habanero.
Yes. Wow. And what you're showing us is that you don't even need a big dramatic space.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be big. So, and that is grown without soil. So it's soilless materials, locally material. We use rice stalks and poultry litter boucher to make it.
Okay.
So,
have you tested the nutrient value? Have you tested the nutrient value in comparison with using the soil? I would ask that you do that.
Yes, we make the yes, we've tested. And this is our habanero.
Take the effort to actually test side by side. Yes. And this is what? Tomatoes or peppers?
This is our habanero pepper.
Okay, yes, habanero peppers.
This is super habanero.
Okay.
So super habanero pepper. So that
lovely.
Coming up it is hot and spicy. All protein and coming up.
Yes, and they're heavily mulched. I said they're heavily mulched too with the mulching film. Well done.
And we build this locally.
And then you're maximizing the use of water. I said you're ensuring that there's no wastage or the use of water.
Yes, water is minimized and we maximize our water is solar power. Power.
So lovely. Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah,
so Hepzibah, back to you now. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Well done. So once again, our panelists, please be sure that we have your contact. People are still asking. Maybe people came in a bit late and lost your contacts. If you just share them again, please, we would really appreciate that. So Chef Loola, Ebuka, Natasha, and Ayodele, you have all been awesome. Thank you. Back to Hepzibah now.
Wow, what do we say? This has been amazing, amazing. Like, totally blown away from our amazing moderator, our youth at 64. She's done an amazing job. Thank you so much, ma. To all our panelists, from Natasha to Plantboy, Chef Loola, and Ayodele. It's been amazing. I mean, it was so practical and hands-on. In my mind, I'm like, wow, so beautiful. I want to believe we've all learned. Can we show them some love? Show them some love in the chat box. Show them some love. Yeah, I'm reading some of the feedback. Again, it goes so fast, but it's been amazing. Thank you all so much. Yeah, yes. Can we all do this? I think I all do this. We just copied that for Mr. Jean. So can we do this? Yeah, so much, Has. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing, amazing time. Okay, so a quick one. Chef Loola just made me realize, or she just told me, that there's an opportunity for content creators in the organic agriculture space, but basically people that can create content and influence for farmers. There is a big market here. And the beauty of this program is we've seen different people carve different niches for themselves, just to show us that the possibilities are limitless. If you pick something from what we have done today, start. That's the key thing, start. There's a market. If you already know how to handle social media, start. If you don't know, you can learn. Again, our webinar on on Friday, we are having people coming in. We also have a social media expert. She's going to tell you how she's getting leads. You know, she did something for the office, and we're so amazed at the leads that she got for us. So it works. These are people that have track record. And I need to also say that our panelists, they have also shared with us. I mean, when Chef Loola was saying, you can call out a mistake people make or point a frustration that they have. So let me give a simple example. You want to start influencing for organic farmers. You can call out the fact that they are all looking for markets. And we also did something in KCOA, in Nuan, which is the PGS certification, PGS coordinators. So if you still have interest, I think there's a way we can maybe bring you up to speed with the trainings, but those are already PGS coordinators. You can leverage social media to find the markets, to sell, and for off-takers as well. The opportunities are limitless, but you already have the device in your hand. It's your phone. Just start with your phone, start where you are, and you'll be amazed. So a very big thank you once again. I will hand over to our country coordinator in person of Dr. Jutsi Obi. Over to you, sir.
I was so thrilled that I will not even talk again, but you have invited me, and this is amazing. It is really, really amazing. We'll look forward to next Friday. Next Friday will be a bigger bang. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. And we'll continue to do this in different ways so that we'll create awareness, get our youths to do something, and avoid times without something, because time without something is that you do something. So, but if we do something that will keep you active, busy, dissipate your energy, then you'll be productive and our environment will be healthier, because organic is life. It is really, really life. Please spread the news so that more people will come and take advantage of this opportunity. KCA is giving us this, and the Association of Organic Agriculture Practitioners of Nigeria is actually the umbrella association for organic practitioners in Nigeria. And the more you come in, the more you bring out, you spread the good news, the bigger the people that are on the land, and the more we are able to safeguard our environment, safeguard our health, live happier, and sustain this for the future generations to come. Thank you very much, and you are welcome. I'm particularly very, very happy, and I'm particularly very, very happy with the panelists, and I can't express my gratitude enough. I'll find a way of reaching back to them through Hepzibah, so that they will know that Noah and Casey is very grateful for what they have done. Thank you very much, and enjoy the remaining part of the week.
All right, thank you all. Thank you so much. So while we, leave the Zoom call, I'm not going to play a small song so we can dance. We have talked about having fun. Yes, Natasha, I should see you dance, really. So I'll just play a small song. It's currently a trending song in Nigeria. So let me see if I can get around to playing it.